Welcome to Dog Explaining, where we break down what your dog is really trying to tell you. I'm Dana, a canine coach and holistic wellness specialist focused on nutrition, energy work, and essential oils. I'm on a mission for your dog to eat better, feel better, and live longer.
And I'm Angela. I'm your 456 wellness and behavior coach, focusing on helping you understand the connection between four paws, five elements, and six fun tricks.
We're here to help you connect the dots, behavior, food, health, and everything in between, with honest conversations and straight talking guidance.
If you're ready to get past the noise and actually understand what your dog needs you to know, you're in the right place. Dog needs you to know you're in the right place. Now here's today's Dog Explaining episode. Welcome.
Hi everybody, it's Dana and Miss Angela.
Hello.
And we're here for another episode of Dog Explaining. And Angela had a great topic for us to talk about today, so I'm going to let her kick things off while I close the noise off.
Yeah, so temperatures are rising, and I had an experience the other day at the beach that upset me. And so I want to make sure that all of our listeners are understanding what's safe and what's not safe as temperatures rise, and we want to do things with our pets outside. That's reasonable, but you have to be aware of the dangers. And the biggest one for me is the heat, the temperatures on the ground. Everybody talks about the asphalt being hot, and we talk about sidewalks and parking lots. But I think what some people don't think about is the sand at the beach. And I saw two dogs. They were big, fluffy Australian Shepherd dogs who were probably already hot. The
You're
heat
all that
was,
fur.
yeah, the heat index was like 115 that day. And he's walking them through the sand, not like because the tide was high, and so there wasn't a whole lot of like hard wet sand. It was the soft, fluffy stuff that's really, really hot. Like I tried to walk across it and without my shoes on and I couldn't. It burned my
Yeah,
feet.
yeah. And the whiter the sand is, the drier, the hotter it is.
Yeah, exactly. And we think, oh, the beach, water, cool off the dogs, but it doesn't work like that. Like we have to really be aware of the temperatures and conditions outside when we take our pets with us to places. Even going to places like breweries. Everybody wants to take their dogs with them to the breweries, and I love that. It's great socialization, but it gets hot in those places.
It really does. I like to go. There's several pet friendly places around here. And of course, in the spring, Harvey and Poppy load up in the golf cart and we go sit somewhere on a Friday afternoon with a cocktail and some appetizers, and they love to go.
Yeah.
And last Friday, it was so flippin' hot. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you can, and I was hungry, so I knew I was gonna go sit inside somewhere, but the two of them are looking at me like, why can't we go?
Yeah. Yep, I know. It's hard. We do want to include our pets in our lives. And where I live, it's a very dog-friendly town. People bring their dogs everywhere, but
Yeah,
there is a point where we have to say, am I doing this for me or am I doing it for my dog?
right. Yeah. So were you brave enough to say anything to the guy, or you just had your blood pressure elevated watching?
My blood pressure was up. I did not say anything. I try not to be confrontational in public.
Yeah. Because if you did, then there's going to be a whole video, you're a Karen, a whole
Oh,
drama about
oh
all that stuff.
yeah.
And
Yep.
nobody wants that.
I definitely don't tell people that I'm a dog trainer in public because then you have
No.
to sit and ask 100 questions for free.
Yeah. I did last year speak to somebody. I was sitting on the beach. So in my area, after I forget, I think it's March 5th, is it no, May 15th. I don't know. Somewhere the calendar changes and the dogs can't be on the beach before 10. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. they cannot be on the beach between the hours of 10 and 4,
Gotcha.
right? So they
Yeah,
can go earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon. Well, it's still hotter than damn it at 4 o'clock.
it is.
That's like the heat of the day.
Yep.
I was sitting out on the beach around 4:30, 5 o'clock, watching the waves come in, and this man is literally dragging a senior dachshund behind him. And I'm thinking, and there's not a water bowl in sight, no nothing. Um, and I did stop him and say, "Can I please give your dog some water?" Because that dog, I was worried, was going to have a heat stroke right there on the beach.
Yeah. Did he accept the offer?
He did. And there was no conflict, but I'm like, can I just offer your dog some water? And my dogs were not with me. It was too hot, but people are like, I'm going for a walk. And I saw a lady the other day, I guess I can say in my neighborhood, because she probably will never see this. It's 90 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and the heat index at 100. And she's walking down the sidewalk. And I'm like, what are you doing? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I mean, I get it, dogs need exercise, but you're gonna have to rearrange your schedules to do that early in the morning and late in the evening because it's just really
Mhm.
not safe to do it during the day. Especially
Yeah,
what worries me, like if you're, and even pet sitters, people that are paying for pet sitters to come in midday and take their dogs for walks. What happens if that dog overheats? Pet sitter puts the dog away, goes on to the next house. You don't come home for 4 or 5 more hours. What if that dog overheated? Because it doesn't happen immediately.
yeah, that's a really good point. It's a really good
Like,
point.
I just don't love it. I don't love it. But
No, I don't either. And I wonder often, because we are in pet friendly locations with a lot of tourism, you and I both, how many people come from areas that don't really take all of those things into consideration as well, or they've
yeah,
moved from a region that is not the deep south and not hotter and humid and all of those things. And, this is sort of the first time they're aware of those things.
yeah. And when you're moving to a coastal environment like ours, you're not, you got a whole nother world of things to be cautious of too.
For sure.
Leptospirosis because of coastal flooding and stuff. There's diseases that are more rampant here than other places. Don't let your dog drink out of puddles. Don't take
Right.
them swimming in retention ponds where there's blue-green algae.
Yeah. And so blue-green algae is a big deal. I used to post, and I still do. I do my seasonal posts. And if you've ever followed me for long enough, you see them. But I remember, I think it was last year, I normally post about blue-green algae in like July, early August.
Yeah,
And I saw a post that was more like early June where a dog had passed from having been exposed to blue-green algae. And I was like, holy shit, that's early. That's so
yeah,
early in the season. But that can be in freshwater lakes that are not a lot of fluidity to the water. It just sort of gets, I don't want to say stagnant, but it's not moving. It doesn't flow well. And blue-green algae builds up really fast in the heat. And sadly, most dogs who are exposed to that, even just swimming in it, do not recover.
yeah. That's dangerous. Yeah, and I mean, we're in a major drought right now, so
Big time.
everything that's got water in it is disgusting right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that reminds me of a completely separate beach trip that I took. And it wasn't super hot that day, but this man was dragging his poor dog through the sand. The dog's terrified, clearly had never been to the beach.
Oh,
Drug him
yeah.
all the way through the sand, down to the water, and forces the dog in the water. The dog eventually calms down, but then he starts drinking the water. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, this man knows nothing about beach etiquette and animals. You're going to make your dog really, really sick. Salt water is very dangerous.
Salt water can be toxic. And so I had a visitor down a couple years ago who brought her dog, and we took the two dogs down to the ocean. They're sort of jumping and playing and doing all the fun things in the water. And the dog kept drinking. Poppy didn't. Poppy usually does not. But the dog kept drinking the ocean water. And I kept saying to the owner, you have to get her out of the water. You have to stop this. Stop letting her drink. Oh, it's okay. And she's taking photos and all the things. And I'm like, no, seriously, you have to get her out of this water. So, long story short, dog comes out of the water, walking back towards the car. And honestly, I have never in my life seen explosive diarrhea as what I saw in this. I mean, it shot out like 5 feet behind the dog. I've never seen anything like
I
it.
have seen
Thank,
that. It's horrible.
it's awful. Thank God she actually expelled a lot of that water.
Yeah.
But I was so worried. And um, the owner's name is Amy, and she knows this story. And if she hears this, she'll know I'm talking about her. But I didn't want to freak her out any worse. And so we're getting home, and I'm thinking, I have got to get some electrolytes in this dog. We do not need to go out to dinner tonight because I don't know how this dog is going to fare having ingested all of that water. So I used some Ninja Red from Young Living, but I also did some electrolyte um, water for her and just made sure she was taking in lots of fresh water with electrolytes. It's not just about drinking fresh water, it's about getting the body back in balance because
Yeah.
of that saltwater toxicity. And I
Yep.
was fully prepared to jump in the car and head to the vet if we needed to. But um, thank God we didn't. But that so many people are highly unaware when they bring a dog to the beach that drinking that ocean water could be deadly.
Yeah. Yep.
And the dog
And
can
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh
I was
no,
just
it
to
was
say the dog can take in a lot of the water even when they're just going after a ball or a toy in the water.
yeah. That's actually where I was gonna go with that was swim even in your swimming pools and just chasing the ball and stuff. They're ingesting water when they're retrieving in the pool or in the lake or whatever. They're ingesting that water, and whether it's salt water or not, they can actually still get sick from it.
So, I mean, saltwater toxicity is saltwater toxicity, whether it's the ocean or a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And the chlorine, so salt water in a pool basically turns into chlorine. And I was reading something not long ago, and I think I added it on my website or a social media post, that dogs jumping into the pool and taking in a lot of that water. There is more evidence of those dogs who swim a lot having bladder cancer.
Oh wow. I didn't hear that.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I'm trying to build the community and the website is, I mean, you're not going to go looking for those things if you don't know it, which is why I'm trying to do the repetition of those seasonal posts so people are reminded. Maybe they will tell a neighbor, or somebody that's just dropped in new to the social media posts that we make would see those kinds of things. But yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't mean don't take them swimming. It just means monitor and be careful about what's happening. And when they come out, make sure they have fresh water. If electrolytes are needed, use that. Wash them off. All those things.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, it's not just the ocean. I got a call from one of my clients um, yesterday, I think it was. They go to a lake house on the weekends, and she said they came back and the dogs were really itchy, and I'm like, what do you think? I mean, excuse me. And they've been transitioning to natural flea, tick, heartworm, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, do you think it's fleas and ticks? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. And then she said, well, she was itchy too. And I'm like, well, then it's probably not fleas unless you see them, right? But she started looking up something called lake itch. And evidently there's some parasite in the water that bites and really sort of agitates the skin and create something called lake itch. So then we were talking about, well, how do we soothe that? And so, of course, I'm thinking Epsom salt soaks, but I went into some homeopathics for itchy, atopy type skin, shampoos, all those kinds of things, trying to get some immediate relief. But what could be done? Because this is their lifestyle. They don't want to stop the dog from swimming, but what do we do if there is something in the water that we need to make sure doesn't create some sort of skin irritation? So it's not
Yeah.
just the ocean.
I wonder if she hadn't experienced it herself, would she have thought any more of it?
Doubtful. Doubtful. And in fact, she called her vet before she called me, which is fine. I get it. I'm not a veterinarian, don't have those alphabets behind my name. But of course, their answer was, well, let's give the dog Credelio, which is an anti-flea, anti-tick, anti-parasitic product. And I'm like, do you see fleas? No. Do you see tick? Did you see ticks? She said, I saw one and it was on me, not the dogs, because she's been doing all the things for the dogs. And I'm like, well, then I doubt that's what it is. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
yes, there's some sort of irritant out there. You know, down here, you and I deal with no-see-ums, right?
Hmm.
And they're awful. And then there's nobody who gets bit up by mosquitoes more at nighttime than I do. Nobody. And I'm like, maybe it's sand mite because we have sand fleas down by the ocean. So it could be
Yep.
something along those lines. And that's not something you can totally prevent. It's just you manage the skin irritation if it's present.
Yep. Rinse
But yeah, I
yourself
think you're
off
right.
before
If
you
she
get out of the
wasn't
water.
also in the lake and also itchy, she might have gone down a very different path. I need to follow up with her and see if the homeopathies worked. Those were things that she said, I think I can get those locally because they happen to have a health store near them. But I'm like, if you have to, just overnight it from Amazon. But these are the kinds of things. So what have we mentioned today? Homeopathy, electrolytes, all those kinds of things. If you don't have those things, if you don't have a first aid kit, what do you do?
You better call somebody real fast.
Exactly. Well, and that's great if I'm next door, but or within a few minutes. But if I think she's in Wisconsin or
Oh
Idaho or
gosh.
somewhere like that. I can't
Yeah.
get there fast.
No.
Even for
Um,
you, even if you called me, I'm an hour and a half away,
yeah. Yep.
That's a lot of time when you're in a crisis.
My, as we're talking, I keep thinking of more things to throw out there.
Yeah.
And one that keeps popping in my head is, um, so your dog gets overheated or whatever it is, and you're giving them water to drink, don't give them ice water. It just needs to be regular room temperature water, or you can really do damage to them.
Yeah. So I saw a post last week. I love the poster. I did not love the message. They had gotten a message from somebody who said the that it was a myth, a lie, falsehood to not cool a dog down rapidly when they were experiencing heat stroke. That the faster you cooled them, the better. And I'm like, bullshit. Pardon my French.
No, not at all.
Pardon me, but no. It's just right. And so what do? You can get a cool towel and cover them. You can drizzle some water in their mouth, but you do not want them going in drinking big
Big
amounts
old
of
bowl of ice
ice
water.
water. Yeah.
Yep. And put them
We
into
even talk
shock.
about like cool the feet first. I've heard people say, and I would use peppermint oil because I have it, but put alcohol on their feet, which is cooling, but then soak them in some cool water, cool towels, but never ice baths and ice cold anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, super important fact. Um, so it's the pavement, it's the humidity, because dogs don't sweat. They don't sweat like we do. Um, Please do not shave down a double coated dog.
Oh gosh. Yeah. You're doing more
right?
harm than
That
good.
that double coat is their coolant. And if you
Yeah.
take that away, they have a much more difficult time regulating their body temperature. Um, what
You
am I
know,
missing?
why it always makes me wonder why groomers would even allow someone to shave down a double-coated dog.
Well, Angela, why would a veterinarian require you to have all the vaccines and offer Credelio for Lake?
Dollar signs, dollar bills.
That and just, I don't want to say not being aware, but I don't think everybody really is aware.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. It's common sense, not book sense. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
And that common sense isn't free.
And we haven't even talked about the car, right? Why is
Yeah.
it that year after year, and God forbid, it's not only dogs, it's children. Why are we leaving them in a car at all? That I do not understand.
Yeah, leave them at home. That I was just talking to someone about that recently. She got in a bind with her dog and had to leave him in the car with the car running. And I was like, that's great. I was like, but you really shouldn't do that. I know a person, um, she's a dog trainer in North Carolina, not in Wilmington. But I used to do this until I heard this story, and I'll never do it again. But I would take like two or three dogs out training with me because I would be right there at the car. I would take one at a time out, do some training, swap them out, and
Mhm.
leave the truck running. And she did the same thing, but she was away from the vehicle for a little bit, and something happened to the engine of her car and it cut off. And she wasn't aware. Like in her mind, the vehicle was running, the air was running, the dogs were fine. She came out, she had one of her dogs and a client's dog, and they had both passed away.
My
And that
God.
just scared the bejesus out of me. So I will never ever do it again unless I'm just sitting right there and like I can see you and I'm not walking away from the truck, that I'll not leave them in
But,
crates. Yeah.
even I question that because what if you thought the dog just laid down, right? Versus the dog passed out or collapsed. How would you know from across the area? Yeah, so that's a tragedy for sure. I a couple years ago bought a waggle. It did not work in the car. There was never a place you could put it that it wasn't getting the actual temperature of the car. So even if I set it in the very center of the car, it never got a good read on the temperature because those things are supposed to send a message to your phone to say the ambient temperature is increased or whatever.
Yeah.
They work well in RVs, but those are enclosures with air conditioners. But even then, because I have thought about purchasing an RV and traveling with my dogs a little bit. And I thought, if you do that solo and you left them and even went to dinner, I think about if I left, let's say my house was an RV and I left them in it and I drove down to Barefoot, which is only 7 miles away, but takes about 30 minutes to get there. And I got a thing that said your air conditioner went out in your camper. How fast could you get back?
Probably not
So
fast enough.
I am a nervous Nelly about those things, which is part of why I've never done it.
Yeah.
So
I
I
do.
don't know.
I have a waggle, and actually somebody on Etsy 3D printed these little contraptions that I can attach to the side of my Rufflin. So I can
Mhm.
put it all the way, and I've got an outlet in the back of my truck, so I can put the waggle on the side of my crate because obviously the temperature back there is going to be different than what it is up front where the vents are.
Right.
And and I set my parameters very like I have a small parameter. Like I need it to be this temperature, and if it even gets 4 or 5 degrees up, we're calling it. I've never really noticed it being off that much, but again, I don't really leave them that
This
much
was a
anymore.
number of years ago, many moons ago. So the technology has probably advanced quite a lot.
True. I just don't leave them in my truck anymore.
No, I don't either.
Thankfully, I'm not doing as much training anymore, so I'm not having to go back and forth somewhere 5 times to do
Yeah,
what I used to do.
right. I mean, but it even limits like my ability to go on a day trip or road trip, right? To like, let's say I wanted to go from here to, I don't know, Charleston or Savannah or the Outer Banks. If I had my two dogs in the car and it's just me, where would I stop for me to go to the bathroom? How would I handle that? Because by the time you come outside, somebody's going to be screaming at you because you left your dogs in the car. And
Or
I would
they've
be
called the
terrified
police
that
on
in a
you.
couple of, yeah, I'd be terrified that in just a few minutes of just a run in and run out, that something would go south.
Yeah. I haven't experienced this firsthand. Someone told me about it. I was talking to them. They had just taken a road trip. And I think a lot of the rest stops now, they're putting like um I don't know what it looks like. It might be just like a porta-john or something, or it could be just an offset like family restroom that's not inside the building. And she took her dogs to the bathroom with her.
Yeah. I mean, if I was out and about, I probably would too, and I would just take the wrath of somebody going, "You can't have them in here." I'm like, "We'll be out in a minute," you know.
But there's
But
nothing that says you can't have them in the bathroom. It's not like they serve food in there.
right, for
I
sure,
I've taken Gouda in public restrooms with me before.
yeah. But that's one dog going with you versus two.
Yeah, true. Just put Harvey in
So
a backpack.
yeah. So I mean, maybe there's some solo travelers out there who have pointer, and that would make a wonderful podcast if somebody would love to join us. Is the RV life with their dogs and or solo travelers? That'd
Yeah.
be awesome.
I mean, Ray and Steve have their two pitties on the bus with them, but they're always with them.
Yeah.
And when they do leave, their bus is solar powered and they've got everything on their phone. So even when they're away from the bus, they can see the temperature inside. They can see how much energy is being used, how much energy, if they're getting close to the end of that solar life.
Hmm.
Um, and they're not going anywhere that far away from the RV either. Like wherever they go,
Right.
they're on bikes, basically.
Yeah. I know when I had my kennel building, it was basically just a renovated garage and we had a mini split in there. But I had notifications happening in that facility as well. God forbid the power go out, right? I mean, I could be out training. And a lot of times we would drive up to Pinehurst, which is 30 minutes away. And what if a storm came and the power went out? That room would heat up really fast,
Yeah.
So it's always nerve-wracking to me. It's always a little stressful.
Last summer, I was in Wilmington and a really bad thunderstorm rolled through, so I couldn't even get home. And I had to call the neighbor to come over and go and sit with the dogs. And if it got too hot, he was going to have to take them outside because you couldn't even open the door is electric, so you can't just open the door and let air in.
Yeah,
Um, thankfully, I got lucky and he was nice enough to come over here and sit with them and make sure it didn't get too hot while I was trying to get home.
yeah. All right. So we covered salt water, sand, blue-green algae, swimming,
Cars, asphalt,
cars, asphalt. What else is there?
proper cooling.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'll tag because I have a blue-green algae post, I have a saltwater toxicity post with a electrolyte recipe in it. And something else. I'll put those in when we share this so that they can be reviewed for more detail if people want that.
I'm trying to think. I know I have an older dog who does not tolerate the heat well at all. She never has. Um, she's not,
Well, and she's white.
yeah. Um, but I don't mind the house being cool, but my house stays a couple degrees cooler than some people just so that she's comfortable.
Mhm.
And, I don't know how many people think about even little things like that. What's the temperature of my house? Yeah, I'm trying to save a couple bucks, but am I making my dog uncomfortable by doing it?
Yeah. And that also reminded me when I said she's white, that people don't know dogs can get a sunburn.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they make a dog-friendly sunscreen. You basically should not use a lot of zinc products on your dog, but they
Yeah.
do make dog-friendly sunscreens, especially for those little pink noses and stuff if you're going to have them out and about.
Yep. When I do take my dogs to the beach, they're under an umbrella.
So that's where I was about to head to, because a lot of times here I see some are legitimate and some are not service dogs out on the beach under an umbrella, and you can look at them and tell they're hot. You can look at them and tell that dog is just super hot. So even the shade is questionable as to their ability to regulate their temperature, especially if that dog is not from this area. It's one thing to acclimate to the heat, right? It's another if you've come in from, I don't know, where's,
Ohio.
yeah, or
Everybody comes from
Idaho or
Ohio.
North Dakota, right? And that dog is used to a much cooler temperature with no humidity, and now you're going to sit him out on the beach for 8 hours. We rethink that, right? That's a tough day.
My dogs don't go to the beach between April and October.
Yeah, mine don't either, unless it's like a rainy, cooler day or really late in the early evening kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Buddha
But
also
if
has a little battery powered fan that's got a mister on it.
oh yeah, those are cool.
We have to take that with us when we go to the park for acupuncture because even in the mornings it can get humid here by 10 o'clock. And so I
Yeah.
always make sure that I've got my fan and stuff to cool her
Well,
off
the
if
last time
needed.
I took my two for acupuncture, Dr. Rubendahl showed up with a fan. She had
Yeah.
one of those battery
Yep.
powered ones. Yeah.
Yep. She thinks of everything.
Yeah. We love her. All right. Anything else you want to add? This is a great topic.
It is really good. Hopefully this brings up some questions from people or like, what can I do instead of this? I do want to talk to some people that travel a lot though. I have to think of I know Ray and Steve, but I know that there's got to be other people that travel with their dogs full
And
time.
I mean, maybe she can refer. I would love to talk to a solo traveler, or let me rephrase that, a solo person like me who travels with dogs.
Yeah.
I want to understand that better. Um, what do you do when you want to go to a place the dogs can't go? And because I wouldn't see, this is even where my head is. It's one thing to have one of those big um buses kind of thing, right? Or even what you've described with Ray and her husband. I would have either what they call the little teardrop that you tow behind. That wouldn't work. I couldn't leave them in that. They would fall. So what do you do? How does that work? That's honestly why I have not pulled the trigger. And even if I thought about buying like a converted Sprinter, that's still a very small thing that would heat up really, really fast.
Yeah. Well, and the like factors that play in there would be, are you are you traveling and staying in campgrounds where you have power to hook up to? Or are you traveling and staying out in the middle of the desert, like in BLM land where there are no hookups?
Well, yeah, but even at the campground, just like you said, any given late afternoon could be a big thunderstorm that rolled through that snapped the power off for half an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't know.
gonna,
I
I,
haven't solved it in my head. And I know people do. I know there are people who live this lifestyle all the time. I just can't wrap my brain around it. So I would love to have one of them come discuss with us.
yeah, I'll ask her for some recommendations because there's a whole community of those
For
people.
sure.
I mean, they travel the country together, some of them.
Yeah, I joined a group called RVing with Dogs, but I have not been brave enough to reach out in that group yet. So,
Got to be careful with the Karens out there that just want to rip you apart online.
exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, this was a great topic. I hope that people will learn some good information from it and then dig a little deeper into the resources that will provide us follow up um, to get their supplies and first aid and waggles and whatever on hand. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Do you have the waggle on your link tree still? You used to at one
I don't
point.
even have a link tree anymore. I put it all on my website.
Disregard that statement.
But no, I don't have it out there because I wasn't using it. And
Yeah.
so,
I wonder too if there's some better technology out there now. Might be something to
yeah,
research.
I mean, I still get ads for Waggle, and I probably should email them and say, hey, what do you do for these smaller, um, and I ask them if there is like a dog trainer option.
Yeah.
What do you do for those kinds of outings? So thank you for more assignments. I just needed to add more to my to-do list.
Yes,
All
notice
right, everyone.
you got the assignment, not me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. And everybody have a great day. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Oh, Angela, tell them how to reach you.
456 caninecoach at gmail.com. That's number 4, number 5, number 6, canine coach, all one word, at gmail.com.
And I'm Dana at welloldcanine.com. So we will talk with you guys soon. Have a great day.
Listening to Dogsplaining. We know you've got a lot of choices when it comes to dog advice. We appreciate you trusting us to keep it honest and helpful.
If today's episode helped you understand your dog's needs more clearly, share it with someone who may also need to hear it. And don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
For more resources, visit us online or join the conversation in our community. We'll be back soon with more insight into your dog's behavior, health, and wellness. Questions welcome, and we love guests.
Until then, keep listening to Dogsplaining.